Okay, guys, in yesterday's session, we have discussed about print layouts. What is a print layout? What is a print layouts?
To print to print the SAP.
To print the data in one some format, printable format, right? If you take your certificate, educational documents, transfer certificate, right? If you take any your nativity certificate or your birth certificate, everything will be in some layout, right? In some specific format. There should be a logo, there should be details of the person and the transactions and the terms and conditions, and everything will be designed in a specific format so that we can print data whenever required, right? So whenever you order something in Amazon or Flipkart, what will happen? They'll generate a order. So which order they'll generate? Sale order. For sale order, they'll generate after billing invoice process, right? So that invoice document will be in a specific format, including company logo, purchase details, transactions, and everything, right? We are going to design one layout. The same layout will be used to print data whenever required. Okay. So that one we are going to configure into the SAP programs. So yesterday we have created a simple smart form. What is the transaction code to create the smart form?
Smart farm is the
Smart form
transaction.
is the transaction code. And we call that smart form in the driver program. What do you mean by driver program? It's a
It's
normal
nothing but report
SAP
program.
Yes.
Yes,
report program, right? If you are designing any custom functionality, if you are designing any custom form, print form, we are going to call that form in a custom driver program. If it is a standard form, just like standard tables, SAP has also provided many standard smart forms, standard print layouts. Okay, we can use those standard print layouts if they are suitable to our business requirement. If they are not suitable to our business requirement, what we need to do? We need to create our custom form, or we need to enhance the existing form. Okay, if there is a standard form already available to print the data, but that is not exactly suitable to our requirement, what we need to do? We need to create a custom form, or we need to enhance existing standard print form. How to enhance standard form? We're not going to do anything. Mostly we are going to copy that into custom form. Take the standard form and copy the form into custom form and do your changes, because we cannot change standard form directly. We cannot do any changes in the standard functionalities. We can copy it into a custom form and we can do our changes. Okay. Now let's create one smart form again today. So smart forms is the transaction code to create the smart form. Let's create one form. Provide the description of the form. What is form attributes? It contains,
System configurations.
so it contains language translation option in form attributes. What you can find? Language translation option and output options. Output options like page format. What is the page format you want to take to print the form? What is the size of the page? Okay, this is very important. When we are working with the form, we need to consider page size and printable area. Everything is important here. We need to measure the length of each object what we are going to print in the form, because we need to design a form efficiently by utilizing space. We should not waste the space. We should not print unnecessarily data into second page, right? We should use the page space efficiently and print the data without unnecessary spaces, unnecessary gaps. Okay. So what you can find in form interface? We have import, export, tables, and exceptions. Whatever the parameters you are going to define here will be available in the function module to pass the data to form. Let's take one sample um, importing parameter is underscore mara type. I'm taking one sample structure here, mara, or I'll take MAKT, material text. Let me print material text. Type MAKT. Is it a work area like structure or internal table like structure?
It's work area.
Work area like structure, because we are taking table reference, not the table type, right? In exporting, we don't need to return anything. If you want any exceptions, you can also define here. What is global definitions? In global definitions, you can define global data objects like variables, work areas, or internal table. How can you define? Just like this gs underscore mara type mara. Now it will act as a global work area. You can also define variables and internal tables. Okay, clear? This is local to the form. This object is local to the form. Whatever we defined in importing is part of the form interface and the function module what we are generating, right? So we are accepting the data from a program in the form of importing parameter. Now let's go to the page and design the page. Where you can design the pages? In form painter, you can use the form painter. This is form painter. You can adjust the page size. You can adjust the window size, everything here in the form layout. Okay, clear? If you want, you can also draw the window. This is main window, right? So let me delete it. By default it will create one main window. So this is the page. This is the page. Let me increase the zoom. I'll make it 100%. So this is the page. Whatever you have taken according to the page format. We have taken A4 size page, right? Here you can draw the windows. Simply you can create here, right click on here, create window. By default it is creating a main window. Sorry, what type of window it is created? It is created a secondary window. If you want to change it as a main window, you can change it. For now, let me take a secondary window. In the secondary window, what I'll do, I'll create one logo. For that, I am using graphics. From where we are going to access this graphics?
SC78.
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 That logo should be available in
Decode.
SC78. Let me search with custom logos uploaded by someone. Color bitmap image also. Let me search. There are different logos. Let me try what is this logo. I don't know who uploaded this and what is the logo, but I am using it here.
ZDemo SAP. I created a
Okay, this one.
demo underscore SAP.
Okay, now you can adjust. You can adjust this window in the form painter. The size of the window and the position of the window you can adjust here. Okay. In the same page, I want to print address. Please observe address also we can print. You don't need to select any data. Observe here how to print the address. You need to pass the address number. You need to pass the address number. How can you find the address number? Which table?
In address table. Address table.
ADR table.
ADRC.
In every table you will have a field called not every table. In master data tables you will be having a field called ADRNR. That's called address number. By using the address number field, you can print the address. It will automatically print the address. For example, this one, address number. Let me find one address number. Go to S11. We don't directly pass the hard-coded number, but just want to show you how this will work. Address window will work. Take this address number 2323664. Pass this address number and save it. Save the form into some local object. So our address number is saved. I am passing the address number. So what is my expectation? So that address should be printed here. Okay. Now I have designed logo and address window. So yeah, in this scenario, I don't have any transactional data. So let me create another window to print the important business data. Window. Let me take it as a main window. So what is my expectation? Drag the main window to here. What is my expectation from main window? So it should automatically print additional data in the next page. Okay. It should automatically print the additional data in next page. Okay. Clear? Whatever the data I'm printing in the main window. But secondary window is fixed width. Now in main window, I'll print the material data. I'll print the material data. For that, what I need to create to print the data, which is uh, passing from the calling program. You need to create a text element. Yesterday, we have displayed some hard-coded text, but now we'll see how to pass dynamic data, which is coming from the program, how to define it. Create text, create text. Now here, there is small difference you need to observe. If it is a hard-coded text, you can directly type here. You can directly type here. But to display the dynamic text, you cannot directly type it here. Let me make one heading, material data, material data. Now here, material number and material text. What it should print here? Whatever the material number we are passing from the program, right? It should print whatever the material number we are passing from the program, correct? How can we make it to print dynamic data? What is the parameter we are using to pass the data from the program? This import parameter, right? ISMAKT, right? By using this
Yes, sir.
import parameter, we can pass the data from program, whatever the data you want to print in the form. Now use this import parameter to print the data like this. IS ISMAKT hyphen Matner ISMAKT hyphen MAKTX. So what is my expectation? In place of this parameter, in place of this structure and the field name, it should print whatever the value we are passing from the program, right? That's what my expectation. But if you type it like this, if you type it like this, it's not going to work. For the normal text, static text, you can type like this. But the dynamic data, which is coming from the program or from one internal table or work area, we cannot do it like this. What we need to do? We need to use text symbols here. Insert field. We call it as insert field. How can we type that? This and symbol is underscore MAKT hyphen Matner and close it. Continue. Sorry, this should be here. And material text, go to text symbols is underscore MAKT hyphen MAKTX, right? So if you need to print any dynamic data in form, you need to insert as a field. You cannot directly type it. Okay. So this is the MS Word based editor. This is the MS Word based editor. We have other editor called line editor. Click on here, text editor. This is the text editor. This is the text editor, right? You can also use text editor. Go back to form Word editor. Observe you got it right. How to display dynamic data? You have to insert variables, insert the fields using this option, insert field option, right? Insert field option, you have to insert the dynamic data. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Which one is better to use, line editor or field editor?
See, if you need to type something, if you need to type some text, this this editor is convenient, right? Word based editor, you can type easily, right?
Yes.
But sometimes it will generate some special characters. Sometimes it will generate some special characters, invalid special characters. Those we can fix in text based editor, this editor.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But if you need to print the dynamic data, how can you insert the dynamic data? Using this one, insert field option.
Insert fields.
You can easily observe the difference. It is highlighted in that gray color. Next, I have defined one global declaration, right? In global definitions, I've defined
Yes,
one
sir.
global definition, right? For example, if I need to pass some data using from global definition, how can you pass that? Same thing. For example, material type. Go to insert field. What is the structure we have for material type? This one, gsmara hyphen mtart. Insert it like this. Okay. The data will be printed here. And let me add one more window to print the some terms and conditions, any text. I'm separating the different data using different windows. I'm separating the data using windows, separate windows, so that you can align, adjust the space properly, right? If you keep everything in the same window, you cannot align properly. Okay. Okay, so I've printed some terms and conditions. Let me adjust this new window. This is a secondary window. It's not responding. Okay, looks like I did not saved it. Let me create again. Let me create. Okay, align it let me align it properly. Let's make it as a main window and create some text. Insert field. Matner. You can also insert multiple actually. Is underscore mara hyphen maktx and gs underscore ma, not mara, right? Makt. You can also insert multiple fields like this, and you can align it in the page. Sorry. Always remember, if some dynamic data is not working properly, that should be the issue with this insert fields. They are not inserted properly. Save it. Tell me from where this first two parameters will print and from where the other material type will print. The material number and material text will print from importing parameter, right? What about the material type? Material type, we defined material data in the global declaration, the global definitions, right? We cannot pass this from the program. We cannot pass global declaration data from the program. We need to write, we need to implement it within the form to print to read this data. For that, what we need to use? We can use code initialization to write the code. Go to initialization. Here you can write your local code, code that is local to the form. Here you can see two parameters, input and output. Input parameter is something which we need to use as a input in our data selection here in the code initialization part. What is the input we need to define here? What is the output? The data which we are returning as output, that we need to enter here. Now now we are passing material text, right? We are passing material text from program, right? From importing parameter, we are passing material text, right? By using this material text, let's select material data, right? Go to code initialization. What is our input here? We are passing material text from program. ISMAKT is our input. What is our output? We'll populate this global declaration, that is gs underscore mara. Write the code here. Select single star from, because we are taking work area like structures, star from mara into which one? gs underscore mara, where matner equal to is underscore m is underscore makt hyphen matner, right? We are taking ismakt as input and returning gs mara as output. We are writing this code in the smart form level, right?
Sir, write the where condition properly. Math.
matnr, yeah. Okay, usually this is not
Spelling.
required. We can also pass this data from program itself, but if there is any scenario where we need to write code within the smart form, this is how we need to do. You need to define global declarations and write the code in initialization. Clear? But most of the business logic you can write in the program and pass the data here. Okay, next. So our form is ready. Just activate the form. Our smart form is ready. Smart form is activated. Let's test this. Let's test this form. Activate. Sorry, execute. Provide the inputs ismakt. Let me pass some material number 10. I don't know whether it is available or not. Let me just pass and execute. LP01 print preview. So it is printing some data, right? And address as well. R constructions India, right? We are passing address number here. It is automatically populating the address from ADRC table. Here the logo is not printing in a proper way. Not in the it is not in the correct position. So that you need to adjust that position. Go to the form and adjust. Go to the form layout and like adjust that position of the logo. Okay. Now let's call the form in program. Create one form. Executable form. Take one parameter. As usual, follow all programming guidelines, modularize the program using class methods. For example, let me select some data here. Select single star from MAKT into data ls underscore MAKT. Sometimes inline declarations won't work with function modules, right? Sometimes inline declaration structures won't work with function modules to pass. So we need to define explicitly using data statement where p underscore matter. Okay. Now let's call the form. Let's call the form and pass the data. So let's assume this is your business logic and this LSMAKT is your final output. Final output. Okay. Your final internal table output. Let's assume that, right? Here we are taking only single record, but what is the data that we are going to print? The final data. We need to build final data and we need to pass that data to the form. According to your data, you need to define import parameters in the form. How to call smart form function module? What is the function module? It's not responding. Let's wait for some time. It is not working. We have no other way to terminate the transaction. For some reason it is not responding. Close the program. Let me open again. Okay, we lost our program. Uh, Let me type again quickly. Initialization, selection screen, startup selection, end of selection. Okay, let me save this time. Okay, so let me call the smart form if ls underscore mak is not initial, and if usually what we are doing in our previous programs, calling the LV report, right? CL demo output display ls underscore mak. So we are displaying the output like this, right? So instead of that, what we are going to do now, we are going to trigger the smart form print layout. How to do that? We need to call the function module, smart forms function module. Enter the form name, execute. Let's find the function module of the form. So this is the function module of the form and call here. How to call the function module? Go to pattern. If you know how to call the function modules, it is same concept here. What you need to pass here? Importing parameter,
Input.
input parameter, that is ls underscore mak. Whatever the data this is the data we are passing from the program to print the output. Enable the exceptions. Let's test this. At the rate is missing. Let's test this print output. Some 12. I don't know is this material available or not. Let me just try. Print preview. It is printing the data. Material text is some SK. Material type is ROH. Material number is 12. From where this material type is coming from? Are we passing it from the program? Are we passing material type from the program? No.
No, sir.
So we are writing that logic inside the smart form. How to debug that
Smartforms.
logic available in smart form? Here, this logic you can easily debug by keeping the breakpoint here. But how can you debug logic which you have implemented within the smart form? For that, what you need to do? First, go to the function module, display the function module, go to that smart form function module, and there is some search option here. Binocular symbols you can see in some other GUIs, or you can also magnifier symbol with plus option. Go to the function module and search for your code. What is your code? Select single star from Mara, right? Just search for this code within the function module. So this is the code what you have implemented, correct? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This is the code what you have implemented in initialization, smart form initialization option, right? So you can keep a breakpoint here like this. You cannot directly keep the breakpoint in smart form. Okay. Find your custom code in the function module which is generated and keep a breakpoint. Now go to program, execute this. Let me provide some material number. Execute. Print preview. Now debugger should trigger because we kept the breakpoint within smart form, right? Now the debugger should trigger. Print preview. Debugger is triggered and populating the data into that global declaration, right? And form should be displayed. This is important interview question. How to debug the smart form? You need to find your custom code in the function module and you can keep a breakpoint. Okay. Now, what we have discussed about calling the function module. Can we call the function module directly? Can we call the smart form function module directly in the program?
No, sir.
No,
No.
No,
because
sir.
it is just some
No.
random number generates in development, test, and production systems. When you transport this smart form to the test system, it's going to generate a new number, not the same number. For example, I have transported this program and the form to test environment. Now in test environment, it is generated some name. I will show you what will happen if you don't use. Let me change the name. I've removed some characters so that we are calling a invalid function module which is not available in the test system. Now let's execute what will happen. I'm trying to execute a function module which is not available in the test system. So we'll get runtime error like this. when you transport the program to test system, because in test system it will generate a different function module name and you are calling a different function module name in the program, right? For that reason, don't call the function module directly. First call the function module, pass all your importing parameters and enable all exceptions and everything. First do this step. Once you completed this step, before the function module, you need to call one more function module. What is that? SSF
SSF.
underscore
SSF.
function, just search SSF underscore function module underscore name.
Module.
What is the input for this function module? Form name. Form name nothing but smart form name.
Form name.
In single quotes, pass the smart form name in uppercase. Okay, pass the form name in uppercase. What is the output? Output is function module name. Output is it will return a function module name as output here, fm name. But what is the what is the variable we need to take? Is it a variable or work area? Go to function module and check in import parameters. We are passing form name. Type is this, and exporting what it is returning, fm name. What is the type? This one. Is it a data element or structure? It's a data element. That means it's a variable like value. It's a variable like value. Copy this data element. Copy this data element and go to program. Define one variable data lv underscore fm name, type this one. Okay. Simple. Pass it here. Pass the variable here. Sorry. lv underscore fm name. Pass the variable here and enable the exceptions. Now what it is doing? We are passing form name as input and it should return function module name as output. Let's test this in SC37 first. Go to SC37 and test this function module how it is working. Execute. So what is the form name? This one. Pass the form name as input. Pass the form name as input and execute. Did I incorrect form name? Zdemo. Now execute. It is returning function module name as a output. Now we are going to use whatever the function module that is returned by this SSF function module name. So it will automatically detect the function module generated for the form in the test or production environments, and it will call that function module dynamically. So what you need to do now, instead of passing function module name, instead of using this function module name, what you need to use? This variable, whatever the function module it is returning. Instead of function module name, just replace this function module name with the variable. That's it. You don't need to do anything. Clear? Is everyone clear? If sub r c equal to 0,
Yes, sir.
if that form is available, then I'll keep this end if after the function module. That's it. Is everyone clear what we are doing here? We are passing the form name as input and returning a function module name as a output. Okay, this is how we need to call the smart form in your program. First call the usual function module. First call the smart form function module and later replace that function module name with the whatever the function module name you are returning from SSF function module. Clear? Let me keep a breakpoint here and debug one by one. Pass the material number, execute. F5, subrc 0, selected some data into material text. And what we are passing here, we are passing the form name and it should return a function module name. It returned the function module name. If subarc equal to 0, then call the smart form function module. Inside the smart form, we kept the breakpoint. Okay, clear? Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let me show you one thing quickly. Conditions. How to put the conditions. I'll use logo to show you how conditions will work. Let me create one more logo. Create graphics. Let me take some graphics. Let me take color bitmap images. I'll take a different logo. This one. Okay. Save it. Here I have two logos, right? I want to print one logo with a specific condition. Depends on the condition. I want to print the logo. How can you set that condition? Go to here, logo one. Go to logo one. Go to conditions. I'll add condition like this. If is material number is equal to something, I want to print a specific logo. If material number is different, I want to print specific logo. I'll add condition like this. Is underscore mat hyphen matner equal to in single quotes 14. We need to take exact length. What is the total length of material number? We need to take the same length. Go to SC11, Mara, execute it. 14. I want to take default zeros as well. I think there is no default values. There is no zeros, initial zeros. I can pass without any zeros in the form level. 14. If it is equal to 14, I want to print a logo 1. Okay. You can add the condition like this. When this logo should be printed, if is underscore mat hyphen matner is not equal to not equal to 14, I'll print the second logo. Okay, Clear? This is how I can display windows, depends on the condition. Hiding windows or displaying logos depends on some condition. It's a very important interview question. They'll ask you, how can you display logo? Depends on the data. If data is something, I want to display one logo. If data is different, I want to display some logo. For example, there is one multinational company which is operating in multiple countries. If country is US, in Smartform it should display one logo. If country is India, it should display a different logo. Depends on the country. Logo should be automatically displayed. How can you do that? You can add
Okay.
conditions. You can add conditions. Create different logos here, and for each logo, provide the condition. If land 1 equal to US, display this. Land 1 equal to IN, display this. Like that, you can add the conditions. Okay. Now let's test this. Go to the program, execute the program. Now I am passing 14 as a material number. Now it should display specific logo. Print preview. I'll remove the breakpoint here and save it. If it is 14, it is displaying one logo, right? Let me pass a different material number 15. It should display a different logo. Wait. Why it is displaying same logo again? What is the condition we have added? For graphic 2 not equal to 14, it is not equal to, it is equal to. We are missing some initial data, initial zeros, leading zeros or something. Let me check in the table how this data is available, or let me use F4 help. F4 help is not working, or maybe let me check in the value table. There should be some leading zeros. That's why it is not able to compare exactly. Let me find those. It is not working actually. There is some issue in the data. Hmm. I've removed this one, respect conversion. So it is not converting into output format. Here we have leading zeros. We have to use all these leading zeros as well. So in place of this, provide the actual value with leading zeros. Okay. When you are comparing, when you are using these hard coded values, right? Always check like that. What is the internal format? Previously, it is displaying in the external format without leading zeros. Okay. But whenever we are considering the condition value, right? We have to consider the complete value as a internal format. Just like how we take date. Okay. Now check this, activate the form, and go to the program and check this. Go to SC38. Now execute the program. Now pass 14. For 14, it should display specific logo. Now it is displaying, right? For 14. Let me test for other company code. Sorry, material number 15. Let's take 15. For the other logo, what is the condition? Not equal to material number 14. For other material numbers, it is displaying a different logo, right? Let me try a different material number 20. For 20 also, it should display logo other than that material number 14th. It is displaying a different material number. Let's take 14. It should display a specific logo. So not only logo, any window, which you want to display based on some condition, you can use conditions. Okay. If you want to hide some data, depends on some condition. In that case, you can keep the data in one window and add the condition. Okay. Clear? Is everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Here we have added
Yes, sir.
conditions on the individual graphic element. You can also apply condition on complete window. Okay. You can also add condition on complete window. You can hide or disable or enable the complete data which is available in the window. Okay. Clear? For example, like this, gs underscore mara hyphen matner equal to material type ROH. I don't want to display any data. I don't want to display the logo. Sorry, for only ROH, I want to display the logo. This is the condition. Let's take some material number with ROH, material type ROH. This one. 11. 11 is ROH, or let's see what different type. ROHD, material number 5. Material number 5, material type is ROHD. Ideally, it should not display any logo. Let me execute the program and check. Material number 5. Execute. As per the condition, it should not display any logo. It's not displaying any logo. Let me try 11. 11 is ROH, right? Material type ROH. It should display the logo, some logo. Why it is not displaying any logo? What is the condition we have taken? Equal to ROH, right? Okay, this is GPOS. ROH 11 should ROH only. Yeah, we should check the data. Are we taking the correct format or not? Usually this is how we can set the conditions. Okay, clear?
Okay, sir.